Hey everyone, it's Rachel back with you. So y'all will probably notice that I am not normally where I am when I record my videos. Not in my living room in Kentucky. No, I'm actually recording this video from my brother's basement. I scooted home to Eastern Iowa for my grandma's funeral, actually, and my nieces and my niece and nephew are taking a nap. So hey, what better time to record our video for the week, right? So last week I had mentioned that for this video here, we were going to kind of cover my step-by-step process and getting my breast augmentation and what I kind of learned during the process. For me, having my breast augmentation done was by far the biggest thing for my confidence and helping me proceed in my transition, helping me kind of progress, helping me feel more comfortable in feminine circles. Yeah, it was an integral part of my transition. So my breast augmentation, I had it done, let's see, in January of 2021 at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. When I got my surgery, my big thing was, how am I going to afford this? How do I make sure I pick the right doctor? All of that stuff. Because I literally was kind of doing this alone. I didn't have all that much guidance in it. But, no, so like my biggest secret, the best kept secret, that's the words, best kept secret. The best kept secret that I can tell y'all, for my American-based viewers, Starbucks, 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 Starbucks. I actually was a barista at Starbucks. I picked that up as a part-time job, purely because I knew that they had a very good trans insurance policy. And I averaged, say 20 hours a week, just enough to qualify for their insurance. And, yeah, like within 3 months of being there, I had health insurance through Starbucks. And, you just have to maintain that 20-hour per week average, which for me was pretty easy, even though I was also doing that in, addition to my career at AT&T. But with their health insurance, we were getting ready for like that, annual enrollment. And I called up the insurance company and I was like, hey, or I called up Starbucks HR and I was like, hey, I'm going to drop the insurance. I'm like, give me a reason to keep it. Give me a reason. And, they had mentioned, they asked me what surgeries I was planning on having. And I had mentioned a breast augmentation. And they were like, oh, well, with our insurance policy, for our trans-related partners, that is completely free. We'll pay all the cost. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, 100%. You'll pay at 100%. They're like, yeah, not a big deal. Not a big deal. You just have to find someone who's, in network or willing to work with us. And I'm like, all right, bet. So Starbucks paired me up with an advisor who literally would help me talk about the insurance policy with surgeons, with hospitals. And so literally they were right there in unison with me, working as a team, which was really, really, really nice. So that's one of my big things. Starbucks. They are amazing. I love them. Literally, anytime I go get coffee, it is from Starbucks because I owe them so freaking much for what they did for me. I love them. But so then I had originally seen a surgeon. It was my first consultation. It was at the University of Louisville. And when I went in for my consultation, I don't know, like, the surgeon that I was seeing never said anything, directly, like, derogatory to me or anything like that. But him and I just did not click. Like, I felt like I did not feel a chemistry. I felt uncomfortable. I did not feel at home. And I'm sure he's an amazing surgeon. I'm sure he does great work, but me and him we didn't mesh. So one big thing I will tell you is just because you go to a consultation does not mean you have to schedule surgery, like, at all. Make sure that this person who does the surgery for you is someone that you feel confident in, is someone that you feel you can trust. Because obviously me and that surgeon, we didn't have that, and it just was an awkward relationship, I guess I'd say. But then I ended up going 90 minutes south to Nashville, where I stumbled upon Dr. Salem Alcacis. And just from the second that I walked into Vanderbilt, the plastic surgery department, everyone there was welcoming, was very warm and accommodating, made sure I was comfortable, and that, if there was anything I wanted, needed, they were there for me. And I, could not have been happier with my experience there. So with them, once we had talked about the financials of it and everything was out in the open, everything was clear, absolutely, I was ready to schedule. I went in for my consultation, let's see. I think it was October 20th, 25th, like around there, late October. And they were honestly ready to schedule me by early December. Like, literally a month and a half later, they were ready to schedule me. But I had pushed it out to January for insurance-related reasons, and time off with AT&T related reasons. So then in January 18th, that was the day, January 18th of 2021, I had my surgery. I arrived at the hospital at 5 a.m. and around 7:30, they were wheeling me to the OR. And the crazy thing about it, honestly, like, I don't remember the OR, obviously. They had put me completely out. But they wheeled me in the OR at 7:30, and about 10:30, I was walking out of the hospital under my own power. So it was a really, really quick surgery, really quick recovery. Just boom, boom, boom. With a breast augmentation, they can put the implant over the muscle or under. I ended up going over the muscle, just because it helps with healing time, and I just felt like it was best for my body type. Not saying that unders are wrong. Honestly, normally, from what I hear, they tend to look more natural. But for me, it was just a decision that I made for what was best for me, personally. But I don't know, like, during my entire recovery period, I was off work for 2 weeks. I probably could have gone back before then, but I was off work for 2 weeks just so I could kind of, relax, lay low, heal. But I will say during that time, I never felt pain. If anything, I just felt like pressure in my chest area. But I never felt what I would describe as, like, pain, like, ouch, that hurts. In fact, my best friend, Shannon, had drove me back to my house. I had gone inside, I had taken a nap, kind of get the last little bit of anesthetic out of my system. And then I had heard my daughter come home from daycare, was at my ex's place, across the street. So I go over to see my kiddo, and the first thing that she does is she runs over to me and says, "Pick me up." And me being the person I am, like, I didn't even think twice about it. I picked her up, and then as I'm holding her, I'm like, oh crap, like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. But it didn't hurt. Like, granted, I put her down right away because I'm like, doctor said not to lift more than 10 pounds, and you're 30 pounds. But no, like, the recovery, it could not have gone better. It was a really smooth process, and like I said, it did so much for my confidence. It did so much to help me feel more at home in my own body, which, if you do have surgery, like, that's the reason it should be for, to make you feel more at home. If you do not want surgery, hey, that's great. Like, that means you're already home. You're comfortable where you are, and that's fantastic. I love that for you. For me, I just kind of needed a little surgical help, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I've modified my body with tattoos, with piercings. So, what's a surgery? Like, it's all the same. It's making me feel at home in this shell that I have, this body that I have. But yeah, research that surgeon. Make sure that you feel comfortable with that surgeon. And if at all possible, use that insurance. Make it a little more affordable for you. I know when I had mine done, I got a bill in the mail, or a statement, I should say. It wasn't a bill, it was a statement. And it said that my surgery costed about 32,000 American dollars. Now, I'm sure if I was self-pay and I didn't have insurance or wasn't going through insurance, it would have been a third of that, a quarter of that. But because the hospital knew that the insurance was covering it, they kind of nickel and dimed a little bit, which is fine. Hey, get yours. But yeah, so covered a lot of things. Make sure you're comfortable with that surgeon, research that surgeon, use that insurance if at all possible. And like I said, Starbucks, they cover pretty much any transition related surgery that you could think of. It might not be at 100%, but they will help you pay for it. They'll help cover it. I was doing research on bottom surgery when I was there, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think of when I was there, bottom surgery was going to cost me about $5,000 out of pocket. But with my AT&T insurance policy, that one does cover bottom surgery as well, and it's only at $3,500 out of my pocket. So obviously, I kind of made this choice to go with AT&T on that one, but that surgery not happening yet. But anyway, if y'all have any other questions about the process, kind of about how I navigated the process, please do not hesitate to reach out, both in the comments of this video or on my Instagram, which of course, as always, will be in the description of this video. And then lastly, please just hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out so much. So if you could do that, I would love you forever. And if you have any ideas for any future video recommendations, put them in the comments for me or send them to me on that Instagram. I so appreciate y'all's insight. And hey, that wraps up today's video, y'all. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and hey, I will see you next Wednesday, okay? All right. Love you. Bye.